Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. My name's Mark McNulty. I'm president of Action Coach Bluegrass in Southern Indiana. And today I have with us Tracy Caufield-Johnson, president of Caufield's Novelty here in Louisville. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about her business, her journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and just share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time listening in on this channel, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get notifications when our new interviews and conversations drop and you can learn from more. So Tracy, welcome. So tell us a little bit about the business and kind of how you got into it. It's a family business. And so kind of
Yes.
tell us a little bit of your story.
So my grandfather actually started Caufield's photography studio. We don't know an exact date there, but we have ads from the Courier dating back to 1916.
Oh,
Um, and actually had a little bit of insurance money. My father was hit by a car, had some injuries. They had $25 left over in insurance money after paying the medical bills, and they took that $25 and invested in tricks and jokes to put in the waiting room of the photography studio. I always say that the photography studios then were kind of like the video stores of the 80s. You know, they were on every corner because it was such a new thing. And so pretty soon people were coming to us more for the novelty side of things than they were for the photographs. So they closed the photography studio and started Caufield's Novelty in 1920. So we are now, my father and his sister ran the company for many, many years as the second generation. And now my brother and myself and his wife are running the company for the third generation.
awesome. So how many employees do you have?
It fluctuates
Mhm.
around 10, but you know, during our busy seasons, it can be 20, 25.
Okay. Awesome. So third generation, that's great. So how do you, so family business, brother, sister, spouse, how do you make that work?
It can be difficult at times, but we do pretty well. We kind of each have our own areas of expertise, and so it's nice because when I do take a vacation or am not here, one of them is. So it kind of works. You know, you feel like you have someone at the business at all times that you can trust.
Okay. So how do you split up the roles in between the three of you?
Well, you know, it varies, but my brother is more runs kind of the business of, you know, not the business. I shouldn't say that. I guess my sister-in-law really do more of the business operations. Um, my brother is very mechanical and we own our building, so he takes care of the building and does stock work and things like that. Takes care of all of our mechanical things and that type of thing. My sister-in-law and I do most of the ordering and accounts receivable, accounts payable, that kind of thing. We split those duties up.
Okay. So so tell me a little bit about your clientele. Who are your customers? What are they coming to you for primarily? How do they find you?
Well, that's kind of a multiple question there because how do they find us? You know, we've been in Louisville for that we're in our 103rd year. We've been in downtown Louisville for 103 years. So a lot of people just know us, but of course there's always new people all the time that you want to get in touch with. We use social media a lot. We have a very robust TikTok that has had tremendous success. So we have some TikTok videos that have 6 million likes and that type of thing. So social media is really big for us. We have lots of followers there, both on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So that has been a very big part of our business and our marketing.
So who are your customers? Is it a certain demographic or
Really, I mean, you know, probably 20 to 40. is our main customer base. Um, and our business changes with each season. So that's a very difficult question to answer. We're very seasonal. Our two biggest holidays are Halloween and then Kentucky Derby. So two totally different customer bases there. So it's a difficult question to answer because it depending on what season it is, it's very different.
So what makes you unique? What makes you stand out so the people come to you instead of like all the other online stores for things?
Well, I mean, our tagline is Caufield's novelty for the unusual. So um, unusual is what we do best. And I think that, our business has changed many, many times over the years. Um, so I think that I'm sorry, and I forgot the original question.
So, so what makes you unique? Why do people
Okay.
come to you, and how do you compete with like all the internet?
Yeah. So that has been a difficult process. My husband used to be involved in the business. He got us on the internet as soon as um, that became a thing. So we have had a website since the 90s. Um, it's difficult to compete. You have to be different. You have to find that thing that other people don't have. We sell on Amazon as well as selling on our own website. When we do that, we have to find that item that Amazon doesn't have and that none of the other vendors on Amazon are selling either. So, but we do that. We find certain items that there's not anybody else out there carrying, and we post those and sell those there. Um, what makes us unique, I think, is that our retail store we have a 10,000 square foot retail um, in a 30,000 square foot building. So we have tons of stock space. But we make it kind of like, for instance, at Halloween time, we make it kind of an event to come to Caulfield's. We have lots of photo ops and mechanical things that my brother has done. We have our dungeon. That's just a really fun place to visit. So we get lots of tourists as well. We have a distillery close to us, and the people go to the distillery and then come on over to Caufield. So we try to make it a destination that is a fun destination for people and then hopefully they buy something while they're here.
So, what's one thing that you wish more people knew about your business?
Probably that we're not just Halloween. Every year at Halloween time, that is our biggest season, but every year on a daily basis, I answer, are y'all open year round? And yes, we are. We change with every holiday and do something different for every holiday. So right now we're kind of in the midst of selling Santa suits and elves and biblical characters for upcoming Christmas, pilgrim costumes. People need costumes for things all during the year. So ultimately our main business is costuming, theatrical. We carry stage makeup, complete line there, special effects. We have a makeup artist on staff here that can help you do special effects makeup. So it's just, we are unique in that we are unlike any other store in Louisville, that's for sure. And I think it brings people in to just check us out and see what we have. But we try to do fun events throughout the year here at the store. And we've got Christmas with Krampus coming up where you can come in and get a free picture made with Krampus. So just doing fun things that otherwise people might not come in for.
Okay. So, how do you market your events like that? Because that seems like a big attraction, obviously.
Definitely social media has been the
Yeah.
number one for us. We, like I said, have tons of followers especially on TikTok. Since we've gotten big on TikTok, we have had people actually take vacations to come here. So
Oh, really? Okay.
we have customers coming in from all across the country that either made a stop on their way to somewhere else or actually planned to come just to come to Caulfield. So, we are, I believe us to be the oldest costume and novelty shop in the country. So, that's a difficult thing. There's not very many independent businesses that have been around for 103 years. So, um, people that like horror things and scary, creepy things. We carry all kinds of collectibles and that kind of thing too. So it brings those people in to see us.
Okay. So awesome. So your personal journey, obviously family business, was it always preordained that you were going to work there and take over? Was that a big decision for you? Kind of how'd that come about, if you don't mind sharing it?
I mean, I would just say that I always knew it was an option. Um, and I have two siblings. My brother started out doing something different, and I was going to college to do something different, and it just kind of worked out. My sister didn't get involved in the business, but both my brother and I did. So that's just how it worked out. And it's a fun business to be in. It changes all the time. So um, I guess it fell into my lap due to being in the family, but it's something that I definitely enjoy.
Okay. So, so where do you see the business? What's next? Where do you see the business in 3 to 5 years from now?
It's we hope that, we both have children and we hope that our kids will take over the business at some point. But who knows? It's difficult in today's world, trying to be an independent business and compete with the Amazons and the Walmarts and that kind of thing. But I think we have a little niche that others don't, and that's I we've seen. We actually were for many years and still do it on a small basis. We are a distributor to other costume shops throughout the country, independent costume shops. But we have watched those accounts go from maybe 2,000 of them in the early 90s to maybe, we might sell to about 50 on a regular basis. Independent stores, it's just very difficult for independent business
Mhm.
to keep it going.
Right. Okay. So do you and your brother and sister-in-law, have set annual goals? Are you goal setters, or are you go with the flow and go where the business takes you? Or, do you have kind of,
I think that we're always looking for new ideas to implement. I think that, over the years, our business has changed often. It started out photography studio, then novelties, then, model and hobby was really big in the 30s and 40s. That's something that we do absolutely nothing of now. So, I think our willingness to change and go with what is popular and big at the time has kept us in business all these years. And so that's what we're always looking to do. The events that we've been doing here, fun events, costume fashion show that we do, the different pictures with Krampus, that type of thing. We just try to make it a really fun destination for people. Sometimes we have movie nights where we show an old horror movie, and things like that. So that has kind of been leading the business along with TikTok. We're also selling on TikTok Shop now, so that's a new venture for us. So always looking for the different outlets where we can sell to customers that love our kind of stuff.
so looking at your team now, you're as a family-owned business run by some family members. How do you interact with your team? Is that do they feel like they're part of the family?
Oh yeah.
What's your kind of leadership style and management style to make it so that people don't feel like outsiders, which I've heard sometimes in family businesses, like you're either in or you're out, and that goes to
Yeah.
management and leadership style.
Well, and we do have a core group of employees, many who have been with us for a long time, some of them as much as 20 years. So um, we have those core people that are here all the time. Like I said, we bring in temporary from time to time during busy seasons, but we have our core group that we do kind of consider family, and they do I think feel a part of our family, even if they aren't related by blood. They love the store and we love them, and so it does feel we have a really great group of people that really help us go move forward into the next generation. So we have a couple of young girls that have been doing our TikTok. And like I said, it's been extremely successful. So I think having some core people that are younger and have great ideas like that is been essential to us.
Okay. So last question about family business, so as I'm sure you've experienced, there's some challenges. So what do you think that you're doing, you and your family are doing right to be able to keep it in the family and keep growing the business? And so what's making it work from the.
Well, I again would say the ability to be willing to change and try something different that we haven't tried before. You know, there's a lot of shops that, they're just a costume shop and that's all they do. And we've seen those businesses close up. It's just too hard to compete with. Now not only do you have Amazon, but you have the temp stores that come in every year and open up at Halloween time. So you have to be different. And I think that we have done a very good job at being different, making it a fun destination for families to come to year after year. We have grandparents that bring their grandchildren in that came into the store in the 20s, so it's that's always inspiring to me when I have customers that say, my grandparents brought me in, now I'm bringing in my kids. I love hearing that. I hear it usually on a weekly basis from somebody, and it is very inspiring to hear that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. Yeah. So, all right. So I've got kind of a last few questions here, to keep us going. So what's the key to success for you in business?
uh, um, well, obviously showing a profit is great. I think that I'm going back to change, but I think being willing to make the changes that you need to make to continue striving is what you have to do. And if you aren't willing to change your business, then you're going to go nowhere.
Okay. Excellent. So, what's one piece of advice you would have for other family-owned businesses?
Find a good core group of people that um, have different opinions and see things differently than just the family might see. I think that that's always extremely helpful. Having, when I started in this business, I was in my 20s and really younger, if you count when I started working here. But um, I think having a young perspective, especially in our business where it changes constantly like that, I think having a good core group of people that have new ideas is really an integral part of the business and it growing.
Okay, excellent. So, what's a book you're reading or listening to, or you've read recently that you would recommend to other business owners?
Ah, unfortunately, I haven't read any recently, so I'm a big fan of podcasts and listen to a lot of podcasts, but they're true crime, so not anything to do with the business. Although, our business is a little spooky, so maybe that's where that comes in, but um, don't have one to really recommend right now.
Okay, that's okay. So, if you had to choose just one part of your business that we if you could immediately improve it tomorrow, that would like make your year? What would that be?
Um, that's a difficult question for me. Um, I would say to be better able to compete with the big chains out there and Amazon and that type of thing, just to be able to be more competitive in that sense. You know, it's one store's buying power as opposed to, a massive amount. So, um, and we work on that all the time. It's not, but um, to be hugely successful in that would be great to be able to. I don't really want to be an Amazon or be a Walmart. I like being a smaller independent business. I would just like to see more small independent businesses be able to be successful in this market.
All right. All right. I like that. Good. So, if people want to learn more about Caufield's and the wide variety of things and your history that I see on your website. So, other than your website, how can they follow you, find out more about you? Which social media channels should they go to? I heard TikTok.
Facebook, Instagram, we're on all of those. And like I said, we are kind of a destination place in downtown Louisville to come visit, because our store is so interesting. So um, the best thing that a customer could do if they really want to experience it, not just online, but is to come in the store and check us out, because we are different than any other business. I think not just in the state, but there's very few like us in the country. So um, checking out our retail store is a great way to see what we're about. But TikTok for sure. I mean, um, we have videos that we post on a almost daily basis,
Okay.
where people can really learn about us and our store and just the silliness of it. There's a lot of videos that it's just silly, but it's showing you, the kind of things that we have here and how much fun you can have by coming in and visiting us.
Right. Okay. Awesome. So, all right. So, last question for today. What inspires you most?
I think I have to say, when customers, we had a real struggle there for a few years, even prior to COVID. But of course, when COVID happened, that was a huge struggle for us. And then downtown experienced some unrest, so that was another struggle. But um, I had we considered selling the business at that time, putting the business up for sale and closing. But I had a customer call. They saw we do a lot of TV during Halloween morning shows, news morning shows, that kind of thing. Um, and I had a customer call that saw us, and he just said, "I won't take much of your time. I just wanted to thank you." And he was an older gentleman. He said, "I used to come to your store when I was a kid, and I believe it was your dad taught me how to do magic tricks." And he said, "I just am so thankful that you all are still in business, and so thankful that you're still serving the Louisville community. It would be terrible to not have you all in our town." And that was a huge inspiration for me. I he literally made me cry uh, with his words of what he said. So I think those customers that have been coming to us for as long as they can remember, that's what inspires me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great story. So yeah, that must have felt just really special. So,
It
uh,
really did. I was really it was during Halloween, and we work a ton of hours, no days off the entire month of October. So I hadn't had a lot of sleep. I come in a lot and do early morning shows for people and work till late at night. So I was pretty exhausted, but I answered the phone actually at our front counter and kind of started crying right there. I was a little tired, but it was a very neat feeling, and to hear a story about my dad and the fact that he was thankful for him and for us continuing the business was very inspiring to me.
Well, that just shows the impact you have on the community
Yeah,
that you've served for 103 years now. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Tracy. Really appreciate your time today, and the chance to learn more about Caufield's novelty. Um, Listeners and viewers, this has been Tracy Caufield-Johnson, president of Caufield's Novelty. If you want to learn more about their amazing story and also their amazing store, you can go to their website, caufields.com. But I sounds like we need to look you up on TikTok,
Yeah,
see
definitely
what
check
it's
us out
really
there
about,
for
and
sure.
and then and then plan
Facebook
for
and Instagram as well.
yeah, and plan for a trip down to see them. So,
Yeah,
I thank you so much, listeners.
thank you.
Again, if you've not subscribed, please hit the like and subscribe so you'll see all of our interviews and keep learning more about amazing Louisville businesses and gems like Caufield's. So I thank you very much, and I
Thank you, Mark.
look forward to seeing you all again in our next video. So thanks a lot. Bye for now.